Hey everyone, I'm Megan the Realtor, and I'm a licensed realtor in the state of Minnesota. And today I'm here to talk to you about down payment resources, what they are, how to stack them to your advantage, and how to minimize what you actually have to bring out of pocket at the closing table. Because one of the biggest misconceptions I hear all the time is that you need like $20,000 saved up to buy a home. And luckily for you, that's just not true. What's even crazier is some of the best programs out there don't even have income limits, but almost nobody knows how to actually use these programs together. So let's break that down. First of all, what do I mean by stacking? The easiest way to think about it is like coupons. So you're not choosing one program or the other, you're laying multiple coupons on top of each other. And this is where a lot of people leave money on the table because they assume it's either or when really it can be both, which is awesome. Now, most people have heard of the Minnesota housing programs, and they're great. They're usually the foundation. But for a lot of buyers, that's the only thing they've ever heard about. And then in reality, that's just the starting point. So here's where it gets really interesting. There are programs out there that don't have strict income limits. There are some programs that have income limits. So if you're a higher earner, you may not be able to qualify for them. But I know of at least one program that has no income limit. So you could be making millions and still get your $17,500 in down payment and closing cost grants. And when I say grant, that means you don't have to pay it back. So some of these down payment resources come in the form of a zero interest loan. So that's kind of like a second loan against your house that you have to pay back, but you don't have to pay interest on that. It does reduce down the amount of cash out of your pocket, but you have to pay it back. Whereas these down payment grants, you do not have to pay back ever. So I've seen buyers layer a state program with a local city or county program and walk into the closing table bringing next to nothing and much less than they expected to bring. This is not magic and it's also not a secret. It's just about knowing what's available and how to put them together. So, how do you find these stackable programs? A lot of them are buried in city websites or county programs or local housing resources. So, yes, you can go digging for them if you've got all kinds of extra time. But honestly, a bigger piece is working with a lender who actually knows how to structure these correctly because not all of them do, and that's fine. Um, Second best choice would be if you don't have a lender already in your phone or on your Facebook or whatever, call me. I have connections with many, many amazing lenders here in the Twin Cities area. They are super familiar with these programs and they know how to structure the best potential terms for you based on your credit score, your debt to income ratio, all of those things. And we'll be able to put a plan together for you to, come out of pocket with the least amount of money as possible. So, one catch here, I guess it's not really a catch, but one thing to know about this is these programs usually only work if you're buying a primary residence. So the house that you or you and your family, you and your partner, you and your friends are going to live in full time. These do not usually work for investment properties. So if you're buying, a cabin or an Airbnb or, a multifamily that you're fully going to just be renting out, these don't typically work for that. And even if you've bought a house before, these are still worth understanding and seeing if there are any that you qualify for, because a lot of people don't realize what's available to them until they actually start looking into it. So, if you're curious about what this could look like for you, comment below and I'll message you and help figure out what's available to you based on your current situation, your wants, your needs, your credit score, all the things. And I'll go ahead and keep sharing more of this kind of stuff so you can make really smart decisions when it comes to real estate. Thanks.